Namaste and a very good evening to all of you. I welcome you to my channel, The Outlier. My name is Mithu. In today's video, I'll be talking about a very interesting and a fascinating idea called as Chat GPT. I'm sure in the last 3 months, the idea of Chat GPT might have deeply fascinated you as well. We'll be looking at some of the interesting ideas related to Chat GPT, and in the subsequent videos, we will explore more and more about the utilities of Chat GPT. As far as the agenda of today's video is concerned, there are 6 major points that I'll be talking about. Firstly, I'll be going into the background of Chat GPT. Secondly, we'll talk about what exactly is the Chat GPT. Thirdly, we'll look at some of the applications of Chat GPT. Next, we'll try to compare the result of Chat GPT with that of the results of Google. The first important point here would be to look at some of the use cases, and finally, we'll touch upon some of the limitations of Chat GPT. One popular question that people have is, what does GPT stand for? When we speak about Chat GPT, what does the acronym GPT stand for? Remember, GPT stands for Generative Pre-training Transformer. I repeat, the GPT in Chat GPT stands for Generative Pre-training Transformer. Now, if I have to break this down and explain what exactly does GPT transformer mean, I would say that generative pre-training transformer is a language model. So this is nothing but a language model that was released in the year 2020, and it uses deep learning to produce human-like text. So that is the primary utility of this deep learning language model. It is able to generate human-like text. We'll talk more about GPT and the different ideas of Chat GPT in the subsequent slides. In this particular slide, I'm talking about the background. There are several important points about Chat GPT. At a very high level, remember, Chat GPT is nothing but a chatbot. I repeat, it is nothing but a chatbot. Chat GPT is a NLP tool. NLP stands for Natural Language Processing Tool. It is driven by artificial intelligence technology. And one of the important points about Chat GPT is that it has the ability to generate human-like conversations. What does this mean? This simply means, let me just give you an example. In case you are experiencing some problems with your debit card, so you call up the customer care. Typically, what happens is that the customer service executive answers to the various questions that you ask. Imagine, instead of having a customer service executive answer the different questions, you have a chatbot. Now, this chatbot is smart enough to understand your questions and concerns, and it is able to generate human-like conversation. It just feels like you're talking to a human being, but it is not really a human being. It is just a bot with certain programming done at the back end to generate answers to the questions that you're posing. So that is one of the most important facets about Chat GPT. It is able to generate human-like conversations. Nextly, Chat GPT has many different applications, but typically it helps you answer questions. You may have any questions Chat GPT provides answers to your questions, and it assists you with tasks such as composing emails, essay, and writing code, so on and so forth. Let me explain this code. Let me explain this point rather. Let's say you are stuck with a Python code. You want to merge two files and you're unable to write a Python code to merge two files. If you type this question to Chat GPT saying what is the right code to merge two files in Python, what Chat GPT does is it is smart enough to come up with an answer, and it displays what is the basic syntax that you can use to merge two files in Python. Similarly, if you have a long essay to write, or if you want to compose a mail to your boss, Chat GPT is very, very useful in these situations. The next point is, when we are talking about Chat GPT, it is built on top of OpenAI's GPT-3 family of large language models. And the last point here is that there are a lot of machine learning, artificial intelligence concepts which are used at the backend to train this particular algorithm. I was reading somewhere that there are approximately 175 billion parameters to the deep learning model that is working at the backend, and there are billions of words that this algorithm is fed and trained on. So to a large extent, this model is fairly accurate. This language model is very powerful, it is robust, and it gives you reasonably accurate answers. So with this background, let us proceed to the next point. Let's now talk about who are the creators of Chat GPT, right? Who are the creators of Chat GPT? OpenAI is the creator of Chat GPT. What is OpenAI? OpenAI is an artificial intelligence research laboratory. This particular research laboratory is located in San Francisco. OpenAI launched Chat GPT in the year 2022. To be more precise, they launched Chat GPT on 30th November 2022. Next, let's go on to formally define what exactly is Chat GPT. In the words of Chat GPT itself, we can define Chat GPT as follows. GPT, or generative pre-trained transformer, it's a type of AI model. So this is the first important point that we need to keep in mind. This is nothing but a type of AI model that is used for generating human-like text. So this is one of the most important factors or the most important points about ChatGPT. It is an AI model which is used to generate human-like text. Who developed this? In the earlier slide, we have seen that it was developed by OpenAI and has been trained on an extremely large data set of human-generated text, allowing it to generate text that is similar in style and content to the text it was trained on. So this is how ChatGPT describes itself. Further, if you want to know the opinion of some of the important people about ChatGPT, you can see here, Elon Musk in his tweet said that ChatGPT is scary good. He says, this is scary good. We are not far from dangerously strong AI. So a lot of people have spoken very highly about Chat GPT. By the way, I've picked up this particular image from news.com.au. I've also mentioned the source of this particular image. The credit must definitely go to the people who have made this particular image available. So you can see here, uxdesign.cc is ChatGPT, the beginning of the end for search engines. So this is the source from where I have picked up this particular image. Now, one question that might come to your mind is, what are the important applications of Chat GPT? There are numerous applications of Chat GPT. Some of the important applications would be to write an email. If you're struggling to write an email, you can request Chat GPT to do it for you. It would do this accurately in a few seconds. Secondly, it can write essays, it can compose, it can write poetry, it can answer very, very philosophical questions, mathematics related questions, it can answer questions related to history. Further, it can also generate lines of code based on a prompt. Nextly, ChatGPT can develop virtual assistants. Lastly, it can quickly answer customer queries as well. So, if you look at some of the interesting applications of ChatGPT, you can use this to create chatbots. You can use this for language translation. ChatGPT can also be used for text summarization. It can be used to generate content for chatbots to send to users, such as news articles or personalized recommendations. So there are a whole range of tasks that ChatGPT can perform. You can ask, let's say, how do you grow your height? Or you may want a recipe for your favorite dish. ChatGPT gives the answer. What are the 5 restaurants in Bangalore which serve the best vegetarian food? What is the Python code for support vector machine? How do you define DAX expression? What is the DAX expression to calculate the age of a person? What are the 10 interview questions that you can expect when you're facing an interview? How do you write a business proposal? Can you compose a song, essay, or poem? For any of these requirements, you can use ChatGPT. As of now, it is free of cost. You can go into the official web page of OpenAI and you can quickly sign up to ChatGPT, and within a few moments, you can go on to ask any question. ChatGPT will answer any of your questions. Further, I've tried to make a comparison between Google and ChatGPT. To the left side, what you're seeing is the output of Google. I asked a very simple question of Google. The question that I asked was, what dish can I make with mackerel fish? Look at some of the answers given by Google. 25 mackerel recipes to light up your meals. Mackerel recipes, again 37 mackerel recipes. What to serve with mackerel? 10 tasty sides. Look at the right side. This is the output that is generated by ChatGPT for the same question. What dish can I make with mackerel fish? So ChatGPT has come back to me with this particular answer. It says, here are some popular dishes that can be made with mackerel. First, grilled mackerel with herbs and lemon. Then you have mackerel in tomato sauce, mackerel fish cakes, smoked mackerel. Then you have fried mackerel with spices. When you make a comparison between the output produced by Google with that of ChatGPT, ChatGPT is very, very specific. It gives you specific and pointed information which is actionable. If you look at the output produced by Google, it is slightly vague. You have to perform additional clicks. You have to perform additional clicks on each of these links so that you can access the information that you need. Google mostly gives you very vague and ambiguous answers. Compare this with ChatGPT, which is very specific, pointed, and actionable. So in the next slide, we are going to look at some of the important differences between Google and ChatGPT. You'll see here in the left side, I'm noting down some of the important points of ChatGPT. ChatGPT gives very, very specific information. When we go back to the previous slide, it can't get more specific than these, right? It's giving you very, very specific and pointed information as in the last slide. There is no need of additional clicks in the case of ChatGPT. Thirdly, the information that is given in ChatGPT is less intimidating. It is less overwhelming. Lastly, in case you type a question and ChatGPT gives an answer and you're not convinced with the quality of the answer, you always have the option of clicking regenerate response, in which case ChatGPT will further study your question and try to give you a better answer for your question. Last but not the least, the output that is produced in ChatGPT is more conversational because it involves dialogue. It feels like you're talking to another human being. So these are some of the important points about ChatGPT. Let's compare this with Google. If you look at Google, mostly it gives very general, ambiguous, vague information which are not immediately actionable. Google may give you a lot of links. On top of these links, you have a lot of advertisements, and you are expected to make additional clicks. Unless you make additional clicks, you will not be able to access the right information, which is simply avoidable in the case of ChatGPT. Thirdly, there is a problem of information overdose in Google. You type any query, you will get 2 million results filled with ads. So this becomes very, very difficult because you have to look very carefully and you have to spend a lot of time in accessing the correct information. The options that are provided in Google usually are less satisfactory. Compare this with ChatGPT. If the answer is unsatisfactory, you always have the option of clicking regenerate response, in which case ChatGPT studies your question and tries to provide a different response. So these are all some of the differences between ChatGPT and Google. Let's now look at some of the use cases for ChatGPT. The first most popular use case is in the field of chatbots. GPT can be used to create chatbots that can converse with the users in a natural and in an engaging way. Let's look at the second use case of ChatGPT, language translation. Yes, this is a very, very interesting area wherein GPT renders its service. GPT can be used to translate text from one language to another, making it easier for the users to communicate with each other in different languages. So language translation is one area wherein GPT can be used. The next use for ChatGPT is in the field of text summarization. GPT can be used to summarize long pieces of text, making it easier for users to quickly understand the main points of a message. So instead of having paragraphs and paragraphs of information, we can compress this and show one small sentence, which would save a lot of time for the readers. The next important use case for Chat GPT is the field of text completion. GPT can be used to complete sentences or paragraphs, helping users to write more efficiently and accurately. So this is a great advantage provided by Chat GPT. That is, it helps the users write more efficiently and accurately because it helps you complete the sentences or paragraphs. The fifth point that I look to talk about here would be content creation. GPT can be used to generate articles, stories, or other written content, saving time and effort for content creators. Let's say you're writing a blog or you want to write the script for your next YouTube video. So for these content creators, GPT has come as a great blessing. It's a great asset to use GPT because GPT can be used to generate articles. You can use GPT to generate stories or other written content. Thus, it saves a lot of time and effort for content creators. So these are the 5 main use cases of Chat GPT. First is chatbots. Next, language translation. It helps in text summarization. It helps in text completion. And it also helps in content creation. Let's now look at some of the disadvantages of Chat GPT. Firstly, Chat GPT has not matured as much as Google, and therefore Chat GPT might not be able to dethrone Google in the next few years. Second important point here is that Chat GPT is not updated. It has limited knowledge of the world and events after 2021. Thirdly, Chat GPT relies heavily on a large data set. Fourthly, Chat GPT relies on machine learning algorithms. Fifthly, the results can be biased and very inaccurate. Lastly, Chat GPT sometimes can be very complex and computationally demanding. So these are some of the important limitations. If I have to summarize all these points, the 3 important points would be that Chat GPT occasionally generates incorrect information. It occasionally generates incorrect information. Secondly, Chat GPT produces harmful instructions or biased content sometimes. Last but not the least, it has limited knowledge of world and events after 2021. Now, let me explain some of these points. Although Chat GPT is a very, very powerful tool for chatbots and other conversational AI applications, it has many limitations as well. We've discussed some of these disadvantages, but one of the main limitations of Chat GPT is its reliance on a large data set of text for training. While this data set allows Chat GPT to understand the patterns and structure of natural language, it may not always accurately represent the diversity of language and experiences in the real world. As a consequence of this, Chat GPT may struggle to understand and respond appropriately to the inputs that are significantly different from the data it has been trained on. This can lead to inconsistencies in the model's performance and may result in responses that are inappropriate or simply irrelevant and unrelated to the user's questions. Another major limitation of Chat GPT is its reliance on machine learning algorithms. The problem with machine learning algorithms is that they are only as good as the data they are trained on. I repeat, machine learning algorithms are only as good as the data that they are trained on. If the training data is biased or contains errors, then GPT may reproduce these biases or errors in its responses. This can be particularly problematic in sensitive or controversial areas where the model's responses may perpetuate harmful stereotypes or misinformation. We need to be very, very careful about this problem in Chat GPT. It is important to carefully consider the quality and diversity of the training data when using Chat GPT or any other machine learning model. There's one more important point about the limitation of Chat GPT, that is, it can be complex and computationally very demanding. The model is large and requires significant resources to run. It is not a very, very easy task to run a Chat GPT language model because it is resource intensive. This may make it difficult or impractical to use in certain applications or on certain devices. This can be a particularly significant issue in resource-constrained environments such as mobile devices or low-power devices. So if you are trying to execute a query in ChatGPT in your mobile device or any of the other low-power devices, there could be issues because here the model may be too resource-intensive to run effectively. So these are some of the major disadvantages of ChatGPT. So with this, I have come to the end of today's video. In today's video, we have seen what exactly is ChatGPT, what are some of the benefits of ChatGPT, what are the limitations or disadvantages of ChatGPT. Majorly, we have listed out some of the disadvantages as, firstly, it relies too much on machine learning models. It relies on large data sets and it is resource intensive. With this, I've come to the end of today's video. I thank you very much for watching this particular video. I request you to subscribe to my channel, also like and share my videos. Thank you very much once again. Have a great day ahead.